everybody. Welcome to this episode of Across the Bifrost. This is the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am one of your co-hosts, Ryan Doze. My other co-host, Will Rose, is here on the other side of this chat. Will, how are you doing on this wintry holiday week?
I'm feeling special.
Oh, you're feeling special.
I
What
am.
kind of special are you feeling?
Maybe a holiday special.
Are you feeling like Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
Absolutely. I don't know what Christmas is, but we'll figure it out
I
together.
know Christmas time is here. I wish we could play that song from the special over. It's so fun. It's so freaking good.
It
Um,
is.
but yeah, everybody, we're here to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special today. We're doing one of our MCU reviews. So I'm really excited to talk about this. It is the holiday season, and we've been really blessed, I think, with this special. It was a lot of fun.
hmm
And of course, you know how we do our MCU reviews. We try to correlate it as best as we can to a Thor world, the world of Thor through a comic. So we are going to also review a limited series done quite a few years back, written by Cullen Bunn, called The Asgardians of the Galaxy. We will explain all of the like differences, similarities, all of that. We'll explain that in a little bit. But yeah, Will, so excited to be in this holiday season.
Mm.
So excited to be talking. I don't know about you, Will. I really enjoy like Christmas themed comics. I really
Yeah.
enjoy them.
hmm
Like Halloween themed comics, Thanksgiving themed comics. I love themed comics. I don't know about you. Do you like those kind of comics, or are you like, let's get to the hard, storylines, and where do you land on holiday themed issues?
Yeah, I'll agree. Like I like the continuity, the ongoing story, and I do see like it as kind of like a getting in the way of what the storyline is really going after. So like you have like an annual or a one shot or a holiday special. I'm like, okay, all right, I see. You're trying to grab my money. You're trying to grab it, and I want to get.
Oh, you
So, oh, you. But I do have fondness. Like I remember as a kid, like CBS having like the holiday specials or the special
right?
presentation with the circling rainbow thing, and
Oh, so good.
like showing up. And so whether it was like Lord of the Rings or Narnia or hey, I'm old enough to remember as a little tiny little tot the Star Wars holiday special and
Oh my.
and watching that on TV. I don't remember much watching it as a kid. I was maybe 5 at the time, but I can't imagine my parents watching that with me going, "What the hell is this on
What is
TV?"
this?
Because I can watch this. You have like Wookiee talk going on for like 10 minutes with no subtitles. I'm like, what in the world? I can't imagine what my dad was thinking when he was looking over my shoulder, going, "What is this kid watching? What are we doing here?" But I love it that Marvel, Disney Plus, the MCU have figured out like this nostalgia, but also like in the comic books, you have the story arcs, you have big crossover events, but you also have these one shots that are just
Yeah.
standalone issues, standalone holiday specials, and or seasonal specials, and then they're even doing it on Disney Plus, just a one shot. We're just gonna do a one
Right.
shot. It's going to build upon it. We're going to have fun. We'll expand the universe slightly or a little bit, or introduce a character that's a deep cut. So yeah, I'm there for it. Whatever way to kind of get you in there and have fun and entertainment. I'm all aboard.
I am also a fan of holiday themed specials, as I've just pontificated about. But like when sitcoms do their Christmas episode or when they do their Halloween episode, like I love when shows do that. I do love them in comics as one shots where they can kind of exist in their own thing. And I love what James Gunn and company did with this
Mm-hmm.
holiday special for Guardians. I thought they were the perfect cast to do something this zany and weird. But speaking of zany and weird casts, we are going to talk about our comic book connection. First off, here we're going to talk about the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which are
Mm-hmm.
were a team that were put together to really coincide with a crossover event called Infinity Wars, which had a very big impact on the Marvel universe as Gamora, one of the traditional Guardians of the Galaxy in this modern iteration, she becomes this power hungry persona called Requiem, and she starts gathering all the Infinity Stones, and she wreaks havoc over the entire universe. Well, the story we're going to talk about today is really in like kind of like in parallel with what's happening in this larger Infinity Wars story. And this comic also serves as a lead up to one of the crossovers we just talked about on the show, War of the Realms. So there's a lot of things interconnected here. I would advise you to go check out the crossovers for themselves. Hopefully, you've checked out War of the Realms by now. If you haven't, shame on you. And if you haven't listened to our episode with Ryan Penagos, also shame on you. You should go do those right now. They're really fun episodes, really fun comics. But today we're talking about Asgardians of the Galaxy, issues 1 through 5 by Cullen Bunn, Matteo Lolli, Federico Blee, edited by Thor ongoing series stalwart Sarah Brunstead is the editor on this. So really great creative team. And we're going to jump into kind of like just the theme of it. We're going to talk about our thoughts from it. Will and I both read this for the episode today. This storyline that we're going to talk about is called The Infinity Armada. So, Will, what were your thoughts of well, maybe we should run down the team first. Maybe we should run down the who are the Asgardians of the Galaxy first.
Right. And I'll just kind of say up front that like I grew up on team books, grew up on Uncanny X-Men. I love the team books. I love the Justice League. I love the Avengers. I love the X-Men. I love this aspect that you have a team together with different gifts that have to come together to fight the villain or the nemesis or the problem that's larger than the individual person that's faced with it. So they have to come together as a team and learn how to be a team. So bringing this team together, they just jump right out to the gate, introducing this team and how they pull together. And you have the leader, and then you have the weapons person, and you have the muscle, and then you have the weird cringy dude, and then you have the cute animal. Like that kind of team that you have with like the Guardians of the Galaxy, you have it with Asgardians of the Galaxy, and this is closely tied with kind of the MCU and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Thor being brought in. I even think at one point Thor says, "Oh, we're the Asgardians of the Galaxy," and they're like, "No, what are you talking about?" So I don't know what came first, this book or the other, but Marvel does a good job with this kind of like synergy of bringing all these together. So they're like, "Oh, you like the movie? Here's a comic that you can buy.
Yeah,
oh, you like the comic? Here's the movie that you can watch." And so I love it that they pull these things together, and some folks that you wouldn't normally think of as a team are here together. So yeah, like the leader of the team is Angela.
Yes.
Right? Who is, I don't know there's a little bit history there with like Neil Gaiman and Marvel acquiring rights and like end up becoming Thor's sister. It is convoluted as it sounds, but she's the leader of this team.
And if you want to know more about Angela from our show, I'm sure there's other resources out there that can explain the Todd McFarlane, Neil Gaiman kind of discrepancy with Angela and then her coming into Marvel. But we did do a episode with friend of the show Stephen Backhouse about Angela all the way back when we did our original Sin tie-in. We did an original Sin tie-in about the 10th realm. So if you want to know more about that from us, want to know more about Angela, and you can go back and listen to Stephen and I talk about that. That was earlier this summer that we did that. So the rest of the team, Will has mentioned Angela is the leader. Also, Valkyrie is on this team, the Brunhild version of Valkyrie. She's on this. What?
Jane Foster, Valkyrie?
No, not Jane Foster, Will. This is Annabelle Riggs or Brunhild. The original Valkyrie is in this. She has a lot of the similar powers that people that have read her in comics are used to. Annabelle Riggs is kind of another persona that embodies the same physical form, and Annabelle does some cool stuff with like a Nova Corps helmet later on in the issues. But then another character that is in this team is the Destroyer armor, And at first, you don't really know who is embodying the destroyer armor, but then you find out that Kid Loki is the one that is inside the destroyer armor. So the destroyer, Kid Loki,
Right.
Valkyrie,
Right.
Angela. So far, this team has got a lot of big names, a lot of
So
heavy
yeah,
hitters.
yeah, yeah. If you're gonna put together a team, you got to have like an Iron Man suit, right? So
Right.
and wait, is it Loki? No, it's Kid Loki that they made Loki into a kid. And so you're like, do I like him? Do I hate him? Do I don't know? Then those are all good questions with Kid Loki. But he's using this destroyer armor almost like an Iron Man armor. So like any Avengers team needs like some armored up person,
Yeah.
and Loki, Kid Loki, is using the destroyer as an Iron Man armor Gundam kind of thing, and you're like,
Oh, I'm so glad you said
it,
Gundam.
it's so rad. You're like, I can't believe they did this, but yeah, fun stuff. That's why I love comics.
The you were talking about the roles of people on the team. Next is our muscle. Scourge the Executioner is
Mhm.
next. He is one of Asgard's greatest warriors, and he has just recently returned from hell. So he's back and he's part of Angela's team.
Mhm.
Scourge is a great character who like has gone from being just kind of a one-note villain to being a really interesting, complex sometimes villain, but also this anti-hero, part of this, this Asgardians of the Galaxy team. Scourge is an awesome addition to it. We recently, in our rank every Thor villain from the MCU episode, he was dead last. So he's definitely a character that people either have no opinion on or a strong opinion on. So Scourge shows up in the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
There's two more members to the team, and they're kind of like the Rocket and Groot of this
Yep.
team.
Yeah, great.
There is Kevin Masterson, the son of the original Thunderstrike, Eric Masterson. He is the current Thunderstrike in this version of Thor comics. So if you don't
Mhm.
know who Thunderstrike is,
Right.
I'm not surprised because Thunderstrike is a little bit of an obscure character if you didn't grow up reading 90s Thor comics. So Thunderstrike was a version of Thor. He goes on to become his own hero. His son Kevin takes up the mantle of the hero Thunderstrike, and in this comic we get a little bit of a Kevin didn't think he was good enough to be a hero, and then Angela and the Destroyer show up and like, hey, we need you to join our team.
Yep.
So
We need a
he's
hammer. We need a hammer on this team.
yeah, we're recruiting you, and you kind of don't have a choice. So Kevin joins the team, and he's kind of like the Johnny Storm Rocket kind of whippersnapper jokester on the team. So Kevin, great character to add into this team. But the last one, the greatest of the Asgardians of the Galaxy, is Throg, the Frog
Yeah.
of Thunder.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
he is Simon Walterson. Simon Walterson, which if you know Thor comics, that is the inverse of Walt Simonson. But the frog is named Simon Walterson, and he is imbued with the power of Thor from a shard of Uru. And he's yeah, he's a frog with the power of Thor.
I love it.
That's what he is. Not really much else to say there. He's been a pet Avenger. He's been part of Thor comics for a long time. And if you're interested in our Walt Simonson saga that we're going to be doing in 2023, the Throg is going to show up. And he's going to show up in a different version, but we're
Yeah.
going to see the Frog of Thunder again. But that's our Asgardians of the Galaxy. Will, did you have a favorite Asgardian of the Galaxy?
Oh, man, just the banter among the team. I will say, like, I don't know much about Thunderstrike, so like him being the cringy dude on there is kind of fun to see, like what's going on. But yeah, even like Valkyrie, uh, not what's her name? Her first name? Like who?
Brunhild.
Brunhild. Like she Riggs, like her being brought on as kind of being like the human from our
Right.
point of view to be there to watch what's going on around her, to be kind of like our eyes set, to experience through her is pretty fun. So yeah, like yeah, it's almost like you know, the human who turns into the hero, the Shazam, the Donald Blake, that
Right.
thing.
The
Who she
Donald Blake. Yeah, that's a good
Donald
one.
Blake, and so So watching through her eyes through it was pretty good. So yeah, fun stuff.
Good choice. I think I would go. It's really hard for me not to go with Throg. But I really enjoyed Angela in this one because she's taking on that role of a leader. She can't just, she's leading this team that
Right.
she and Kid Loki kind of put together to go fight the villain that we're going to talk about in a second. But she really kind of sets herself up as this leader. And up until now in the Thor comics, she's been related to, she's kind of a loner. She's trying to figure things out, but now she's this leader of her own team. And I really liked how Cullen tried to make her more of a team player in
Right.
these. And she's trying to bring people along because I think of the members of this, she's the most experienced in battle. She's been fighting for thousands and thousands of years. She's related to Thor. She's a daughter of Odin. Like, she's very powerful and she's an awesome character. So I really liked Angela in this one. But
There's a
let's get
sense of urgency, right? Like there's a sense of
yeah,
urgency. Every leader has this sense of urgency where they're trying to get people on board to do what they're supposed to be doing and stop, with the small stuff or the banter or like goofing off. And, as a leader myself, like, yeah, I'm like, I try to sense a sense of urgency. Come on, y'all, pull together. We got stuff to do. Come on, what are we doing? So you identify with that kind of leader position of urgency and like the fate of the galaxy is at stake. So get out of your head out of your ass and let's pull together as a team,
no, Angela is definitely no nonsense.
Yeah.
She is unlike the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Peter Quill,
Hmm.
who is all everything nonsense. Angela is no nonsense. So when it comes to the conflict that they get into, she really has little time for jokes. She's put this team together to get a job done, and that job is this: Nebula, the sister of Gamora,
Hmm.
has gotten her hands on a powerful Asgardian artifact. It's a horn that will summon an undead army. Don't worry, we'll explain. Undead army, and it's called the Naglfar. The Naglfar is something from Norse mythology where it's a ship that contains the undead. And I don't mean to gross you out, listener. The ship is made of fingernails.
Awesome. Of
Yuck.
course. Of course it is.
Super gross. She summons this undead army, these pantheons of creatures and beings that have been destroyed in Ragnarok's past. It's these soulless bodies that have been left behind after Ragnarok's. So even after like Thor and Odin and Sif and Balder, they've been reincarnated, their old corpses stick around. And
Mm.
Nebula is able to summon the powers of the Naglfar and wreak havoc on all these different worlds with these undead armies. She goes to kind of a smaller planet to try and prove herself because she's going
Test it
after
out. You gotta test it out. You gotta
she
see if this really
she
works or not.
she tests it out, and then because all of this is leading up to, she's going to challenge Gamora. She's going to challenge Gamora, who is taking over kind of the Infinity War side of this big crossover that this tie-in is a part of, and the Asgardians are trying to stop her before she can unleash the Naglfar on all of these planets. One of the planets that they go to is the throne planet of the Shi'ar Empire. Now,
Mm.
Will, you are an X-Men comics guy,
Yeah.
from childhood. So the
Hmm.
Shi'ar show up, and Gladiator's there, who is the leader of the Imperial Guard, and they get mopped by this army of undead Asgardian gods. So zombie Thor shows up in this, and Gladiator and the Shi'ar fight him before the Asgardians get there, and then the Nova Corps show up, and all this craziness happens. But when we got to say the halfway point, what were your thoughts about this Infinity Armada story? When we get to like the zombie Thor, that was like one of my favorite parts
Oh
of
yeah,
this.
and that cover is unbelievable. The art,
Amazing.
I'll say the art. Like the writing is great, the pacing's good, the art is incredible. I wasn't that familiar with the artist, but like yeah, X-Men fan, first fandom, what I grew up on, cut my teeth on, in terms of the geek verse. Like I remember reading as a kid a reprint of the Dark Phoenix saga, and like the X-Men bumping up against the Shi'ar and the Imperial Guard, and the Imperial Guard just kind of defeating the X-Men. Was like, oh, here we go. Like I didn't quite know what was going to happen in that story arc as a kid, and as I was reading this reprint graphic novel of it, like the Imperial Guard beating the X-Men, and you have
Right.
the Guardian, who like one of my favorite X-Men characters, Colossus, who I thought was like the strongest, this heavy metal dude who like you can't beat him, like and then the Guardian just like wiping him out. So since then, I've kind of had like a love-hate relationship with the Guardian. Like when he shows up, like he's kind of like a Superman figure who can't be beat, and he has a cape, and he's super strong and shoots lasers out of his eyes. I'm like, okay, but man, he shows up, and then all right, if you're really gonna test your strength, Nebula's like, all right, we're gonna put Zombie Thor against the Guardian and others. Like that's a good battle, good splash
Yeah.
pages, great action, really dynamic, page popping art as you're reading and exploring this comic.
Just know when you're facing off against the Shi'ar, you're probably going to get Gladiator's Mohawk showing up at some
Yeah.
point. And
Mm-hmm.
when Gladiator's Mohawk shows up, you know shit's about to go down.
Yeah. I
And
love it.
so they fight the Naglfar, and the Asgardians of the galaxy show up. And then once the battle is done, Nebula kind of like, she's proved herself. She kind of knows what her army can do. She pieces out for a little bit, and she's got her eyes set on Midgard. Well, as the battle on the Shi'ar throne world stops, the Nova Corps show up, and
Right.
they are going to arrest all the Asgardians of the galaxy for really no reason other than like they were like, "Hey, unless the Shi'ar want to deal with you," and Gladiator's like, "No, we want nothing to do with these jabronis." So then in issue 4, the Asgardians of the galaxy they escape the Nova Corps, and they head off to Earth because they know Nebula is headed to Midgard to unleash the Naglfar on the people that the people that Thor loves, the people that the Asgardians love, their little pet world. And thankfully, they get there. Thor is in this trance that Nebula has put him in. So they take the biggest chess piece off the table, in a sense. The Asgardians free Thor, and then together with Thor, they all fight against the undead army. And Nebula is defeated basically by Kid Loki tricking her
Right.
into thinking that Gamora is actually there, and Gamora is going to fight her. And that's how Nebula is defeated. Kid Loki plays a trick on her, and then they beat all the zombies. And the Infinity Armada is defeated. The Naglfar fingernail army is pushed back, and the Asgardians of the Galaxy they take control of the horn that summons the undead, and they are headed off to go find a place where this item cannot harm anybody ever again. That's where we're left off with in issue 5, and that's where we ended our reading for the time. Maybe we'll come back to the Asgardians of the Galaxy at some
Right.
point, but that is the end of the Infinity Armada story, our connection to the Guardians. I did like that we chose a comic that was Thor adjacent, but we got to
Mhm.
talk about some different characters, a lot of side characters that really don't ever get spotlighted that much in their own stuff. So it was kind of fun to
Yeah.
read these characters in a story.
There's Asgardian connections with that, right? And yeah, I love when you pull a team together and like I'd love to be like a fly on the wall and kind of the Marvel bullpen. I was like, all right, we're gonna put this team together and it's gonna sell some comics and it's gonna go along with the movies and maybe people recognize it, but we're also gonna throw some characters in that people are gonna be like, oh, I'm not familiar with that. I'm learning more and growing to love this particular character. And I don't know what these characters have done since then.
Yeah,
Angela's been around, but some of them are they've grown Kid Loki back up again. I don't know where Throg's been or Kevin Masterson, but it's been a while. But it was cool that they could bring this in this big crossover event when it comes to comics. And yeah, fun stuff.
good little story for us to just kind of chew on. It's fun little adventure. Nebula was great in this. I love Nebula's. I think Nebula is very similar to Loki in a way where Thor and Gamora, their biggest fault was that they were the favorite of their father figure.
Hmm.
And Nebula and Loki's biggest gripe is that they weren't the favorite of their father figure. So
No.
the sibling rivalry, the sibling hatred is kind of baked into those stories. So if you see Nebula and Gamora show up in a in a modern comic, because there's been some retconning with their relationship, you see them show up.
Right.
It's like, oh, Nebula and Gamora, they're gonna fight. Okay, they're gonna fight. They might team up for a little bit, but then they're gonna end up fighting because Nebula will always hate Gamora. But
Right.
it is kind of the same way with Thor and Loki. They might be on the same side for a little while, but at the end of the day, they're gonna be pulled into conflict together because they've still got that like foundational misalignment in their relationship. But good 5 issues to read. I hope you enjoyed them, listeners. I hope you go check them out for yourself. On the other side of this very brief break, we're going to be talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, starring all your favorite Guardians, directed again, thankfully, by James Gunn.
Mhm.
And we're going to get into that after this short break. Okay, everybody, we are back. We are talking about the recent Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on Disney Plus, the latest in this special presentation format that Disney has started. I've really enjoyed this format, and
Yeah.
we are very excited to talk about this. Well, I think maybe the best part, the best way to lead into this is twofold. We are going to spoil some stuff, fans. So if you have not watched the special, please go watch it and then finish the review that we're about to give you. But the other thing is, Will, what were just some of your favorite parts of the special? It's a pretty simple story, but I feel like let's talk about our favorite parts of the special, so that people can maybe resonate with us.
Yeah. So there's like two, like I like the fish out of water like trope. Like, all right, they're trying to figure out what's going on. They don't they're just in a different context, different culture, and trying to figure out what's happening. So you have like Star-Lord, who's amongst aliens and he's an earthling and he's talks
Right.
about these things and they have no idea what he's talking about. It sounds super weird. Yeah, Christmas is weird if you're from outside looking in. And then you have like Mantis and and Drax going to Earth, and they're a fish out of water, trying to figure out what's going on. And the whole sequence of them going through like Hollywood and people and characters dressed up in cosplay, and people that they're like really the ones that are dressed up in cosplay.
Right.
I love that whole sequence. And then Drax is like, hold on now. So you're telling me that GoBots are now part of the MCU?
That was so funny.
Like the Transformers ripoff GoBots are in the MCU because it
And
killed
they
his cousin.
killed Drax's cousin.
And I'm like, I love that pull. And then at one point, like it's like the generic holiday Christmas special where they're like, it's love and it's about family, and
Right.
not gonna pull like a Charlie Brown and read from the Gospel of Luke, like the actual Christmas story. But like at one point, Drax is like stops at like this plastic illuminated like nativity scene,
Oh
and he
my
like turns
gosh.
his head like, what's going on here? And they're like, okay, cool. There's the Christmas story. We're gonna do that. All right, move on. We're gonna go kidnap Kevin Bacon.
Right,
So,
right.
so that for me was really fun to watch. Really fun to watch, and I thought it really well done. Like it wasn't super deep. It wasn't like unpacking like the next phase of the MCU. They're having fun with these characters,
Yeah.
talking about Christmas, family, friends. Yeah, he got it. James Gunn is known for his like incredible soundtrack and music pulls, and he does it again.
Who boy. Yes,
Yep.
he did. So my two favorite things from this awesome fun special was, with this format, it just kind of allows you to focus on things that don't have to hold their own 2 hour movie. So I
Right.
thought one of my favorite things was that Palm Clementif as Mantis, this was kind of Mantis's movie.
Yeah. Right.
If
Right.
Mantis was going to get a movie, it would probably have felt a lot like this. She gets some action scenes. She gets a lot of them. I think she does the bulk of the dialogue, most of it with Drax, but also she gets a lot of moments with Star-Lord. But I thought Palm's performance in this movie was so fun and weird, and her
Yeah.
voices change so much, where
Yeah.
she starts like yelling like this, but then she has like a really sweet voice at the end. Like it
It
was
threw me for
so
a little bit. I'll
fun to
confess.
watch her play with that.
Yeah, I'll confess it. Like for a little while there, it was a little annoying to me. Like her and Drax is like banter back and forth, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like I don't know if I didn't about like a quarter way into it, I didn't know if I liked it. I was like, what are we doing? It's a little grating on me. But then by the end, for her to give him the gift of
Right.
like that like blow up elf, I was like, okay, we're good. This is
The,
that's good. I like what they're doing here. I like
I
the development.
when well, one of the scenes, we've mentioned, this is a story of them kidnapping Kevin Bacon to bring
Mhm.
back to Peter as a Christmas gift. So they're well intentioned, but it's that fish out of water thing where like they're kidnapping people, and Star Lord even says at the end, "Guys, that's human trafficking." And
Yeah,
Drax
what
is
are
like,
we doing?
"We know." Like
Yep, yep,
they want to give this perfect gift, and I do love that the scene where Mantis and Drax they straight up break into Kevin Bacon's house. And it was kind of like, I kind of looked at it, it's like reverse Home Alone,
yeah, yeah.
where it's like if we were cheering for the burglars in Home Alone, and they're chasing after Kevin
I
McAllister,
didn't know how to feel.
except
I didn't know how to feel. I was like, this is wrong. What are we doing? This is stalking. Please give this man
right. And
like
you're like,
separation.
Kevin Bacon, get away, and then like Mantis and Drax take out the cops, and that's where you actually get to see Mantis have a fight scene, which was crazy. Because in Marvel Comics, like she's a martial artist and she has all these powers, but I feel like we
Mhm.
really haven't seen her kind of come out of like the side role. So that's why I say like this felt like Mantis's movie. This felt like Mantis's like time to shine, and then
Yep, that was good.
she gets the big emotional moment at the end where she reveals to Peter that they are siblings. They're actually like Ego was her father and Ego was his father, so they're siblings, which is
Yep,
really, it's kind of an awesome little heartfelt, simple moment. It wasn't this huge emotional like arc that we went on for 45 minutes, but it's like, hey, I've been meaning to tell you this, like we are siblings. And Star Lord has the great line where it's like, that's the best present I could ever ask for. It's
nice.
simple. It's simple. The
Hmm.
other thing I really enjoyed about this special presentation was that opening song.
Right.
Oh, like I just want to, some of my favorite lines. Santa is a furry freak with epic superpowers. He flies to every human home in under 14 hours. He's a master burglar, a pro at picking locks. If you don't leave milk and cookies out, he'll put dung in your socks. To which Star-Lord says, "I don't think that's part of the lore. If you act nicely through the night and don't jump on your bed, Santa comes with sugar plums and hurls them at your head. But if you're on the naughty list, he shoots missiles at your toes. He might just roast your chestnuts with his powerful flame thrower." What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
I loved that opening song. It set like kind of that fun, whimsical, like just out there kind of thing that we expect from Guardians movies. And
yeah,
I really enjoyed that opening song. So those
yeah,
are my
yeah.
two
And
things that I
James
really
Gunn
enjoyed.
is, if you follow him on social media, he's actually friends with this band that dressed up as aliens, the old 97s. They're a legit band that's been around a while. So he was like, oh, if you help me write this song, then eventually he was like, I'd love for you to be on it. Let's have you play it. Let's have you do it. And you can go and find that song and buy it on iTunes right now. Pull up on Spotify right
Oh,
now and
I will be
listen to
doing
it
that
and
right
add
after
it to
this.
your Christmas playlist at this moment, which is going to be a new addition to my Christmas playlist as well.
But honestly, this film was just, it was fun. It was fun. Like I
Yeah,
love these 45-minute to an hour special presentations. Like Werewolf by Night was really great. Completely different vibe. Completely different vibe.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
this
That is true.
Guardian special was so much fun. And listeners, I hope you enjoyed this holiday special. I hope you enjoyed our episode. Will, do you have any final thoughts about as Guardians of the Galaxy or the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, Christmas in general, the holiday season in general? Like it's literally next week and it's going to be here. We've been building up
Oh,
to Christmas all holiday season.
there's a tension out there because at one point I'm like, this is the greatest time of year, right? But I'm sure I have a lot more to do on my list to accomplish. So a little stressed out as I think about it. But yeah, I'm gonna rest into it. The good time of year. Um, I'm amazed at the creativity of the art and the characters and having fun and yeah, you can nitpick and you could do all that kind of stuff. But man, just have fun.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Enjoy these stories. People put a lot of hard work into these things and just enjoy it and lean into what it is and have a good time.
I could not have said it better myself, so I will not piggyback on anything Will said. Instead, I will tell you listeners that we have a great end of the year planned for you. We've been talking a lot about our December episodes and we've really enjoyed them. You know, our Thor the Dark World commentary was a lot of fun. We ranked every Thor villain in the MCU. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out those episodes, go listen to them now. They are tons of good times. And I hope you've enjoyed this special Christmassy review today. Next week, we have kind of a two-parter for you. On Christmas morning, we are going to be dropping a very Asgardian Christmas bonus episode. We're going to be dropping that on the main feed and we're going to have some fun with that. Christmas morning, we're going to give you a Christmas present. So I hope you are ready for that. Maybe after you're done opening up your Christmas presents and spending time with friends, family, whoever, however you're choosing to celebrate that. We hope that you check that little bonus episode out. That's our gift to you. But then we're going to be coming back next Monday and we're going to be wrapping up an entire year of Thor content. We are going to go month by month through the year of 2022 and we're going to be breaking down what happened in the world of Thor that month, what happened in Across the Bifrost that month. We're going to be talking comics, MCU movies. We're going to be talking about news and headlines and it's going to be fantastic. And I hope you join us for that year in review. We're going to have a lot of great time. We're going to have a good time just kind of closing out the year. We've had a great year of Thor stuff. I mean, Will, just, you know what? Off the cuff, what was your favorite Thor thing from this last year? And we're probably going to talk about it next week, but I just want to know what's your favorite Thor thing from this
I got
last
to
year?
meet like a cool Thor artist over the year, you know.
Ooh,
Mark Ruffalo, like
yeah.
I got to make friends with Marvel Stormbreaker, who drew Thor battling Hulk and mashed him up with the Hulk and had ripping off arms and hammers through chests kind of thing. That was like I love that whole aspect. What happened?
Oh,
That's the highlight.
Martin Coccolo was your Thor moment of the
Yes.
year.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sure Martin will love to hear that. You know, I'll share my favorite moment of the year next week or next week when we talk about our year in review. But just know, everybody, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and we've been incredibly blessed as a podcast this year. We've gotten to meet a lot of creators. We've gotten to have a lot of fun conversations. A lot of new friends, a lot of old friends have joined us here aboard the Bifrost. And until next week, until our special Christmas episode that we drop, until our year in review, I want to remind you something we've reminded you for every episode of the show this year. We will never stop reminding you this because I truly believe in it. Everywhere you are, whatever you're doing, however you're choosing to celebrate this holiday season, I encourage you with all my heart to do one thing as you go about all of those, you know, those celebrations and, you know, work and hecticness and busyness. Remember one thing, and that is to stay worthy.